So the second to last thing that we're going to talk about in chapter number 8 is the concept of a resonance structure, or you'll sometimes hear these referred to as resonance structures. Now, what this shows us is the molecule NO3-. This is a polyatomic ion. This is the nitrate ion. And I'm going to label these three different structures as A, B, and C. Now, what makes these different from one another is the placement of this double bond right here. So in model A, we've got this double bond between nitrogen and oxygen in kind of that 12 o'clock position, so pointed upward, whereas in model 3, we've got it in the, I guess that would be like the 8 o'clock position. And then in our third model, model C, we've got that double bond in the, I guess that would be like the 4 or 5 o'clock position. Now, the question is, which one of these is correct? Which one of these is the best representation for NO3-? Well, a resonance structure is something that emerges when more than one valid Lewis structure can be drawn. So each one of these structures, A, B, and C, is equally correct. So which of them kind of is the true structure for NO3? What's complicated is each of these structures is correct, but it's also incorrect. So the correct representation for NO3 is the average of all three of these models. Okay, so resonance structures are multiple Lewis structures that collectively describe a single molecule. Now, what that means is whenever we look at this bond right here, so let's look at model A, this bond right here between this nitrogen and this oxygen. Now, is that a single bond? Well, the way that it's drawn in model A, yes, it is, but when you're looking at the true average structure for NO3, well, this is not a single bond because in this case, it's a double bond. And in this case, it's a single bond. So what that means is that this bond between this nitrogen and this oxygen in that 8 o'clock position, well, that is not a single bond and that is not a double bond. Instead, it is longer than a single bond and shorter. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, shorter than it's longer than a double bond and shorter than a single bond. So it's the average of all of those bonds. All right, now to really kind of send this message home, I think that a good parallel, a good comparison to convey this message is, let's think about two different primary colors. So blue is a primary color, yellow is a primary color. So think about these as competing representations for a given molecule. These two different resonance structures combine to make the actual structure. So the green in this case, so it's a combination of those two. So we've got resonance structures, or a resonance structure from ozone, which is O3. In one model of O3, you've got a double bond on the left-hand side, and on the other representation, you've got a double bond on the right-hand side. So the actual resonance structure is the average of those two. All right, well, I hope this is helpful. Resonance structures are something that you will really get into when it comes to organic chemistry. One thing that's really important to think about is, and I bring up resonance structures after we discuss formal charges, because formal charges allow you to discredit a representation, to discredit a structure and say that it is incorrect. Resonance structures are when you have multiple equally correct structures and you have to kind of combine all of them to make an average structure. All right, well, I hope this is helpful, and have a good afternoon.